Hello dear friends. I received an Asrock motherboard for repair with a problem with its USB port. Some of them stopped working. The defect appeared after 220V was applied to one of the ports while working with Arduino 2.0. A very interesting case, I must say. I've never encountered anything like this before. I wonder if it's possible to restore the port and MATA functionality after this. Let's try to find out. I'll start the repair by checking the defect. I connect the power supply and monitor. The board has an HDMI output. I connected it. I also connected a cooler so we can see when the board is on and also to cool the processor. I turn on the power. A beep sounds with an error code 1. However, no image is displayed on the monitor. I thought maybe the processor was overheating. I put a heatsink on it, but that didn't change anything. The board is designed for a Ryzen processor. I don't know which one is installed here. I also don't know if all of them have an integrated graphics core. So I'll try connecting a test video card. Maybe this will work. Yes, the image appeared. We can move on to checking the USB ports. I'm using a regular USB mouse for this. I connected to one of the ports. I can see that a cursor has appeared in the BA settings interface. This means that this USB port is working. I checked the others in the same way. I found a couple of non-working ports. When I connected a mouse to them, the laser doesn't even light. When connected to other ports, the laser works. The problem is with these ports, they are USB 3.0. At first I thought that the fuse for the power supply to these ports had blown, but when I checked for blown fuses, I didn't find any. I didn't ask. And power is reaching the corresponding contacts of the connectors. There is 5 volts. Meaning the problem is not related to the power supply. This means there may be a problem with the data lines. I connected my initialization tester to the diagnostics. It has a function for measuring the voltage drop on the USB ports, We'll see the results. The working USB port shows a voltage drop of 0.36 volts. The faulty port has a short circuit on one channel and the other port shows a voltage drop of 0.19 volts. These values are clearly lower than those of the working port. The second faulty port shows a voltage drop of 0.2 volts across all channels. The working ports on the left also show a voltage drop of 0.20 volt. I took a USB port plug and measured it with a multimeter. Connecting the faulty port, there's a 5 volt supply. Next, I measure the voltage drop across the data contacts, data plus and data minus. One port shows a near short circuit while the other shows a voltage drop of 145 millivolts. I then repeat the same measurements on the working port. It's approximately 460 millivolts. However, the port to the right of the faulty port shows different readings, showing a reading of 790 millivolts in. Frankly, it's strange that the readings on the working ports differ, but oh well, we'll accept it. Now let's look at what's on the board next to the faulty port here. There are 3 microcircuits here. Judging by the information and the assembly kit for this first version of the board, these 2 elements are the protection, that is, protection against static voltage. Perhaps they have been damaged since the data sheet shows low resistance, and in fact there is a short circuit on one of the contacts. I'll try replacing these elements. I found similar microcircuits on a donor board. I desolder the known working microcircuits. I use a hot air gun. Done. All that remains is to install the microcircuits on our board. I desolder the supposedly non-working microcircuits. The hot air gun is currently at maximum temperature and maximum airflow. Okay, the microcircuits are desoldered. I apply flux and install their working components. The components are in place. I can take measurements. I connect the initialization tester. The short circuit is still there, meaning the problem has not been resolved. Well, there is another microcircuit near the connector. According to board view, the chip model is AOZ8902, which is also the protection module. Most likely the ones I replaced are related to the USB 3.0 data lines. And this one protects the USB 2.0 interface data lines. I'll try replacing that too. Similar components are also on the donor board. I'll transfer it. The chip is known to be working properly. I can test the results. Excellent. Now the mouse works from all USB ports on the motherboard. The problem is fixed, but the repair is not yet complete. I need to check the headers for the external USB ports that connect to the front panel of the case. For this, I took this board from a system case. I'm using it to test the connectors of the additional USB ports. It turns out that none of the additional ports are working at all. The reason is simply the lack of 5V power. In addition, the data lines of many contacts have low resistance. This is due to a burnt out protection module, although same 6-legged AOZ8902 chips. I'm transferring them from the donor board. Three chips on the additional USB ports have been replaced. Next, I'm moving on to the problem of the lack of 5V. It turned out to be a broken capacitor on the power line. I identified it using a thermal imager. It was getting very hot. I desoldered. It shorted out. This is the first time I've seen this happen with a capacitor like this. I don't remember what kind it was, electrolytic or solid state. Please remind me in the comments. I'm installing a working capacitor from the donor board. I desoldered it from the USB port circuit. Well, now all the faulty components have been replaced. Let's check if all the ports are restored. In the end, almost all the ports worked, but not all. One stopped working. The problem is that its data lines have too high a resistance. The voltage drop is more than 1 volt, while on the working ones, it's a 460 millivolts. The USB port's data lines run directly to the hub, and if the surge protection fails to handle the overvoltage, the corresponding channel in the hub fails. Yes. The hub is a microcircuit in a BJ package located under this heatsink. Replacing it is quite a labor-intensive process, and with just one non-working USB port, there's absolutely no point in doing so, so I'm leaving it. As is, In any case, the repair results are impressive. Almost all the USB ports have been restored. I even checked the USB 3.0 port connector. It also works. Well, my dear friends, this concludes my repair. In the description of this video, I left a link to a board view for the same motorcycle board, only the first version. It helped me with this repair. Perhaps it will be useful to someone else. In the meantime, thank you all for your attention and see you in other repairs. Until next time.